Okay, hello, good morning, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. I'm currently in Japan. This is probably why I'm sitting down. We don't have many chairs here. It's kind of a custom. Okay, today I'm going to give a presentation on immigration and security. Okay, very important topic. I want to discuss a critical topic. Okay, this is very critical that affects both national security and human rights, and it's immigration. Okay. My goal is to highlight how understanding these policies can lead to more effective, humane solutions. Let's look at some key challenges and issues. One of the biggest challenges in immigration policy is balancing border security with human rights. How do we protect our borders without violating the rights of migrants and asylum seekers? Irregular immigration and migration and human smuggling create security vulnerabilities. Unauthorized crossing often involve criminal organizations that exploit migrants, leading to trafficking and exploitation. According to the Department of Homeland Security, over 2.4 million migrant encounters occurred at the U.S. southern border in 2022. Now we know with that number, not all of the migrants were of good character. This is just the nature of the beast. And we know that a lot of them were probably taken advantage of because of their need to get to a better um, area or get out of a tough situation. Another common concern in the link between immigration and crime. Okay, while some policies assume that immigration increases crime, research presents mixed findings, suggesting that the issue is more complex than simple cause and effect. Finally, resource allocation plays a key role. The U.S. spends billions on border enforcement. Yet we must ask, are these funds being used efficiently? Or do we need policy reforms? Okay, and this is part of the same issue with the Ukraine and Russian conflict. We want to know that the money we're sending to support Ukraine, is it really going to the war effort or is it going somewhere else? And I think this is another common problem. When you have humanitarian crisis or wars, you want to make sure the money is going to the effort. But oftentimes or not, we find that the money might not be going where we want it to go. Okay, it's just part of the issue with wars and humanitarian crises. Okay, so let's talk about policy and their effectiveness. Okay, one, the Secure Border Initiative (SBI), a policy that expanded surveillance, drones, and fencing to prevent illegal crossings. While it increased border control, it also raised concerns about costs and effectiveness. Now, personally, I think the more technology you can use as far as security and national security, the better. But there is a facet that we must look at, that will it violate human rights? Okay, number two, Title 42, expulsions. Originally implemented as a public health order during the pandemic, it allowed for rapid expulsions of migrants without due process. This policy was controversial and faced legal challenges from human rights organizations. And this is another thing I think there's an inevitable, that the more you increase security, the more you will have pushback as far as human rights and First Amendment rights. But we have to look at the big picture. This is a different world. There's more ways to do crime, so you need more ways to fight crime. Um, so it's another nature of the beast, and I'm gonna keep saying nature of the beast because this is a very natural thing. In which in each decade, each country, each empire, they have to deal with immigration. Okay, now let's look at the role of immigration and customs enforcement. ICE enforces immigration laws, but has been criticized for harsh tactics, including family separations. This has sparked debate over the balance between enforcement and human dignity. Okay, now I am 50-50 on this issue. So I think you need ICE, but I also think that ICE needs their own rules and regulations about how they go about getting the individuals that may be in the country illegally. And I do think there needs to be a review of how we do family separations because it can be devastating. Okay, next, international comparisons. Looking at other countries, we see different models. The European Union's Schengen Agreement, and bear with me, okay, I don't speak German, so I'm pronouncing it as best I can, allows free movement between member states, but enforces strict external border control. Canada, on the other hand, follows a more structured immigration process that prioritizes skilled workers and refugees. Now, I'm not going to say that Canada and the European Union have a much better immigration system than the U.S., but I will say maybe we could look at something that might be working better for them in their immigration and use that. And then maybe we should look at something that's not working in their system and not use that. And then review our whole system. Okay. Why this matters for security. Weak immigration policies create loopholes that criminal organizations exploit. When policies are too strict, they can lead to human rights violations, strain diplomatic relations with other countries. One important consideration is addressing the root causes of migration, such as conflict, economic instability, and climate change. Okay, so that's one of the keys, I think. We have to understand the cause. If we can minimize the causes, we can minimize the problems that come with immigration, illegal immigration, and asylum seekers, and bad actors posing as asylum seekers. Okay, conclusion and recommendations. Immigration policy must be both effective and humane. Security is crucial, but it should not override fundamental human rights. Policies based on data, not fear, are the best way to improve enforcement without discrimination. Investing in technology and diplomatic solutions can help reduce irregular migration with ensuring security. Finally, we must remember that security and immigration policies should protect both nations and people. A sustainable approach is necessary for long-term success. Okay? So one of the key points of the recommendations, policies based on data, not fear and propaganda. Okay? Like the saying goes, numbers don't lie. And investing in technology because we need to make sure we're up to date with technology. I had a criminal justice teacher a while back. He was, I think, 65, retired FBI agent. He said, one of the keys to safety, he says, you must always have more technology than the bad guys. And there is a case, I forgot, I think it was the Hollywood shootout. That was that case where the assailants had AK-47s. And if you remember, for some of us, if you remember, police officers back then, they only carried like the .45 pistol, no protective gear. It was a different time period. But in that case, the criminals had more technology, and it caused a big problem to subdue those assailants. Okay, well, that's my presentation. I know it seems awkward that I'm on the floor, but this is Japan. This is kind of how they do here. And I'm missing home, and so hope you like my presentation. Thank you very much.